So can the Tigers tap into Michael Checker's final expertise and bring down the favourites? Or will Bath finally turn their supremacy into silver? Andre Pollard floats it up, not clean on receipt, and thumped away by Spencer. First touch for Freddie Stewart, so good in that semi-final. And across comes Russell, feeds Miles Reed. First touch for Tom Dunn, who's been spoken about a great deal this week. Nobody has put more into the Bath cause than the hooker.
Here's the first head-to-head on the box kick. Muir versus Stewart. Great aerial battle.
Little tip-on potentially from Muir. It might land for Ted Hill. It was knocked forward in the first instance, and we will have the first scrum of the game.
Saw Ted Hill's speed there. I don't think anyone else would have competed for that ball. We just accelerated, put huge pressure onto Ollie Cracknell. Thought he had more time than he did.
This was massive in the semi-final for Leicester. Their ability in the air to win those kick-chase battles. It's not so easy today because the Bath wingers are very big, very good in the air. Muir in particular, we know his aerial skills. Singer probably slightly less so. That is definitely who wins that midfield kicking battle. Could go a long way to who wins the game.
Imagine this first scrum, Leicester just want this in and out as quickly as possible, really. No, with in a pumped-up environment, first game so early on, first scrum so early on in the game, that Bath will just fly at them, try and win a penalty.
Secured by the Tigers, and Ted Hill deals with the threat from the base of Ollie Cracknell. He's done so much to fill the shoes of Jasper Wiese this season.
You'll just see Leicester drop Liebenberg out to the wide channel to chase the kick now instead of Radwan. A lot higher in terms of height.
Up she goes from Portfleet. In comes Muir. Again, that's evaded his grasp. Once more it's gone forwards, and Tigers have an opportunity. Pollard looking to find the width. Woodward is caught, but keeps it alive nicely. Stewart on the outside arc. That's not quite so pretty.
Always under pressure.
Just tried to leave it in the space. Referee haven't called advantage over, so he's coming back for the Leicester scrum. Stewart just got half through, didn't he, and felt as the outside defender bit, he could just loop it over the head. Just not quite the accuracy for Hassel Collins.
Even going forward. Not forward. This step. This side. No. Always going under pressure.
Carl Dixon.
But it's a good point.
Just allowing that scrum to stay down. The ball was safe at the back of Leicester's scrum. He was happy to play away on the first one. He might just have a bit of a stronger look at this.
So many key battles, of course, but the one between Nicky Smith on the Leicester loose head and Thomas du Toit on the Bath tight head, particularly intriguing, you would think.
Just Abano's going to want to attack Hayes as well, but he mustn't run round the corner early. He's got to go through him first. That's a big Leicester shunt on Nicky Smith's side. Penalty awarded.
Huge scrum from Leicester, and they can play with free ball effectively. That's in behind the on-rushing attackers. Radwan gathers it in, but they'll take the penalty, but they'll also take the belief and the impetus from it at this early stage. Pollard targeting the corner.
Oh, that's a great kick. One thing Leicester have got to watch out though is Max Ajomo. He's very good at the intercept. Watch how he blitzes out the line anywhere on the field, especially in the red zone. We've seen him go the length in a couple of games this season in the red zone. They've got to be very careful throwing those long passes when he's defending in that channel.
Ollie Chesham just making sure everyone's 100% got the call. This atmosphere, can't check out late. Someone will miss it. Just he'll eyeball the Bath defence now. Check his calls on. Get a bit of pace running into it.
Golden kick to set up this field position, and Hanro Liebenberg Takes it in for Leicester. Montoya has it. And Bath coming under pressure from the drive. And they've got an advantage. Montoya sizing up the try line from here. A little further rumble. And the try is scored. Ruthless efficiency from Leicester in these early stages. One scrum penalty, one clean line out, one clean try.
Well, the perfect start for Leicester. And as soon as they get it set up, they get the shunt on, very similar to their first scrum. And when they're in this position, as they take Joe Hayes out, watch what Joe Hayes does. Two Bath players take him out and he holds on to them. They then can't get back into behind and affect the ball in any way. They're playing with advantage anyway. And Van Poortvliet sees the opportunity, one-on-one, line in front of him. He just has to get underneath. And it's Cameron Redpath a little bit high there, maybe, Cam Redpath.
And they got the full 7 points for it, Austin.
I tell you what, talk about double World Cup winner, the clutch, the player that knows how to play in the finals. Great conversion, but wonderful play from the forwards. I'm not taking it away, but the kick set this up. It's a fabulous kick. Look, he's on his own 10-metre line. He's put it to within 5 metres of the corner. That's worth 3.5 for those 7 points, I think.
I was beginning to wonder whether you were trying to evaluate exactly how much they're paying Handré Pollard this season and how much that kick was worth.
Might be worth it after that.
Priceless. Taken in by Liebenberg. Tigers, as we expected, bang up for the fight today. Talking all week about the belief and the confidence that's been instilled in them by Michael Cheika. Arch motivator. And outstanding tactician, of course, as well.
The exit's good from Van Poortvliet as well, backs up his try. But in those moments, the last thing that you can afford is to allow Bath an easy route back into the game, maybe just a 3 points from a little bit of indiscipline. Force them to play from deep at you, and Bath's first real go at doing that now. They've loaded the back line with Pepper and Miles Reed. Beno Abano in there as well.
Hill did so well to hang on to that one-handed gather. Miles Reed sets off into the fray.
Okay, use it, please.
Didn't quite set up, didn't start them well, so they've gone straight back to the box kick again. They're going to play very coy, I think, in this first half, Bath.
Muir's on the chase, and Stewart hasn't managed to get his hands on that as we're done. And Bath now on the edge of the 22, Jomo.
No.
Tigers looking to spoil illegally in the eyes of Carl Dixon. Tommy Raffel falling foul of the whistle.
Well, he wants to be hard at the game, at the ball.
Have a knock on clear, nothing clear.
He wants to be a nuisance at every breakdown. He knows that's so important when you're playing against a team who attack like Bath. Really good clear out here from Miles Reed. Just not quite in there quickly enough for Carl Dixon's liking.
A decision to be taken here by Bath, who have opted to have a kick at goal rather than bang it into the corner. Russell will take the tee.
It's 100% the right decision. When you get a free shot like that, having conceded the 7,
I thought he'd already fallen.
Just take some sting out of Tigers, whose tails are up at the moment.
I'll try and tell you to release if I can in time.
Kicked beautifully in the semi-final against Bristol, 6 from 6. Bath up and running. Talked in the week about his last visit to Twickenham, of course, in the Six Nations, where he missed a late conversion of that Van der Merwe try against England. But an altogether different dynamic here this afternoon. Bath 3, Tigers 7. Miles Reed again galloping into those white shirts.
Now, please, Ben, now.
Spencer. Good pressure from Cam Henderson. And the ball floats back in field on the breeze. Pollard here, fed by Stewart. Cracknell hit hard on the gain line. Ted Hill.
Look at that. Might have been a head-on-head there.
From Portfleet. It is cagey in the middle third of the field, isn't it?
I think it was Abano again on the tackle.
In comes de Glanville, takes it really nicely. Ewells spoke emotionally in the week about all those difficult times they've suffered, as he was at the helm for so many of those awkward moments 3 years ago. Good challenge from Muir, but again it's gone forwards.
So unlucky for Miles Reid. He just tripped over a body on the floor when it looked like the ball might bounce up to him. Great pressure from Muir again in the air.
Come out.
De Glanville.
Sorry, I didn't see.
Down the middle, Van Portfleet here.
Didn't see.
It's a very good clearance.
Got to be super careful, Ali, when you get into these games, especially Abano's been here before.
He can't be.
I know it's not, but I'm saying you've got to be careful. When you drop the height of the tackle like that, he's learned. He's got so much better. That tackle last year, his shoulders were higher,
clearly bent to
but he's
the hips,
fine.
no foul play,
Great, thanks,
so it
mate.
has been cleared.
Thanks, mate. Let's go then, Blue.
No matter how much.
I think there is a discussion in rugby as to the ball carrier dipping into contact and how low the ball carrier's head can go, because
Use it, please.
that is the perfect tackle technique for me there from Beno Abano. There's nothing more really he can do.
Once again, Henderson putting Ben Spencer under a lot of pressure with the attempted charge down, but they've made it to halfway, and Miles Reid is going beyond halfway. Good chop tackle from Rafael. They've got a penalty advantage as Cracknell infringes for the Tigers. Russell wanted it, wasn't quite where he wanted it.
Always part of the tackle.
Leicester falling foul at the breakdown. Maybe Carl Dixon wants to just set his stall out early on, and you can see, because Reid wins that collision, he almost falls into Cracknell. So, although Cracknell probably feels he did let go, it looks really bad. It's a bad picture to the referee.
Kept his left hand on, he must release.
And Russell takes Bath into the Tigers 22. Huge numbers of Bath fans travelling up the M4. They've known from a long time ago that this is a distinct possibility, but they want to see pressure turned into points.
As you can see, they score a lot from line out.
Pepper pops it away to Spencer. Red path into the midfield.
Don't go in, don't go in.
Barno running a dummy line this time, trying to tie in a few defenders. Quick ball, spilt by Reid. And Tigers off the hook.
Advantage over.
Pollard.
That was a great kick, that, on the turn. Well, he's unlucky with the bounce.
Finn Russell.
22 is on.
Pollard waiting.
Come White. Thank you.
Tom de Glanville.
Come out.
Chasing this himself. And Pollard couldn't take it.
No, I'm just going to knock on.
It's been knocked on by Bath. And the Tigers, give up the ball to Ted Hill. But
knock on by Blue.
Back we go for that initial infringement. Scrum time again.
Scrum.
Just interesting seeing a little bit of kick tennis there. It is so hot and humid here. Saw a lot of the Bath forwards in particular just standing in the middle, letting that play itself out without wasting any energy.
Then it went that way, rather than just going that way first. Okay. Perfect. Thanks.
It's becoming really important, isn't it, the aerial battle? I don't think it's ever been as important.
Forward, just make sure we go forward first.
But the height that Will Muir's getting on some of these kick chases is really difficult to defend against, and even de Glanville here. When you lose Stewart in the backfield and you've got Pollard, it's really tough.
Yeah, seems like he's been strapped up, so bring him on.
It's a good contest. All the officials just want to see competition in the air, everybody having a genuine shot gathering it in.
If you're a winger now, Ali, your best bet is to go down to Australia and play AFL for a couple of seasons, come back and then just dominate.
Well, for years it's been the preserve of, yes, the Aussies and the Irish, of course, through the influence of Gaelic football. So a little breather on a very hot day. Muggy too. Solomon Kata patched up. Very influential in that semi-final in providing front football gain line collisions, very much in the Tigers' favour against Sale.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
It's going to need a reset.
This side. You need to keep your shape. Make sure you're driving straight, please.
That's good from Cardiff. If you're not sure, don't just penalise on a whim.
Let's go again, quick reset.
He'll have it in his mind what might have happened there. They have to be squeaky clean here. He won't want a second reset.
Crouch! Bind!
Might call a free kick to get away with it.
Oh, that's good. Gone against Bath.
It's an easy decision, though, isn't it? Like Ben said, if you're not sure, let's stop messing around, guys. I want to see some rugby.
Okay, no problem.
Don't all love pushing.
Pollard sends this up for competition. Radwan's on the move, but de Glanville has it. Takes it really nicely. Here's Muir.
He's miles out of the way. Play the ball.
Dutoit. Big shot from Cracknell.
Okay, use it, please.
Montage doesn't look well getting back to his feet after that tackle,
Stay,
Ali.
make sure you're inside.
Spencer again going aerially. Stewart taps it forwards and it's gathered by Reed. A big net gain for Bath. Dutoit again trying to use some footwork to evade that first challenge from Joe Hayes. Russell, the kick pass. Fopina Singer on the move. Clattering inside the 22. Clear out from Ajomo. Ewells. Russell. Pepper. First time we've really seen Bath move into their patterns. Russell again to Glanville. Swallowed up in the tackle by Van Poortvliet. Pepper again for Bath. Tigers holding them very effectively on that 22-metre line at the moment. Russell to Abano. And the line speed still strong from Leicester. Will Muir envelops by Hassel Collins. Quinn Roon, the next man.
Never touch the ball.
Ajomo on the bounce. Dealt with. Big shot from Kata. Russell. Little feint. Offloads to Fopina Singer, who spills it.
He was away. Brilliant from Russell. Just invites the defence onto him, steps on the inside, gets his hand free. That guy knows. Hand up. Take the blame.
I was watching Russell in all of that, and the speed of ball through his hands was incredible, which lulled Leicester into a false sense of security. They're thinking he's just standing and delivering. Really good options on his passes, but as soon as Leicester switch off, turn their shoulders slightly, he bursts through the line, creates the opportunity for Big Joe. And unfortunately, if you're a blue, black and white fan, Joe can't hold it. Big moment in the game.
And you do better as well, both.
I think that is the impressive thing about Russell, just the speed of his decision. There's never a hesitation on his pass. He's half made the decision, and it just gets through the hands as quickly as possible. But that's a statistic in the bottom left hand of your corner that Bath are going to need to reverse to find their rhythm.
Crouch! Bind! Bind. Set.
Once again, Tigers with a bit of an edge at scrum time, and Cracknell afforded a little bit of space, bouncing through Russell. What a run from Cracknell, all the way to halfway from Portfleet now.
Miles Reid was miles offside there. Got away with it.
For Leicester, very much on the front foot, and Bath struggling to fold round in defence. Picked up by Stewart.
He's good, he's good.
Rafael. Pollard to the inside channel, and oh dear, he knew that was wrong the moment it left his boot from Portfleet.
Well, that Leicester scrum again. Nicky Smith getting his left shoulder up, which provides the platform one-on-one for Russell. What's he doing? Putting his head on that side, just trying to get as much of his body in front of the big number 8 as he can. And then once they're in that position, you think, well, Bath are really struggling to get numbers back behind the ball. Van Portfleet, if he gets away there, perhaps it's a different outcome. So good covering tackle.
Potential issues at scrum time for Bath across this first quarter. Line-out wise, Ewells gets on the end of that. Oh, Russell spilt the ball now. This is very uncharacteristic. Oh, he
threw the ball back at Montoya there. Montoya doesn't like it.
Finn. I got it, let me deal with it. Let me deal with it. I saw it. Straight.
Cole Dixon want a word.
There's the original break again, Ali. Look at, carries very well, but look at the defensive line. The tackle's made here. Is there a ruck? Maybe not. Did he get away, like Ben said, in that position? JVP, he's going all the way. That's why they picked him in the first half, to have another back row on the field. He was right on Graham. He said it's going to be a fast start. They're going to be a little bit loose, a little bit nervy, you could argue. And I think playing another 7 out there has really helped them in terms of their sort of scrambling defence.
Bind.
Well, once again, Tigers find themselves in an enviable position in the pitch, but this time the scrum penalty is Bath's.
I think Leicester there, the front row had told JVP to get the ball in quick, and what they were going to do was just hit and run. So tip your 9 off to roll it in as soon as you go down, and I think in doing so they lost their balance.
I need you, Archie, he's staying square for me, he hits square and then you hinge down. I'm not seeing that.
Well, Nicky Smith trying to argue his case as he walks back to the line out. So Bath for the time being moving back into enemy territory. Done to Hill again. Arching his back, gathering it one-handed. Yet another handling error from Bath in the midfield.
Let go of the ball on the floor, let go. Knock on advantage.
Troubling numbers on that front from a Van Graan perspective, but Tigers here having a crack on the 10-metre line.
Okay, advantage over.
And through goes Radwan, so slippery, so dangerous. Pollard.
50-22.
Space in the backfield. De Glanville's got a lot of work to do.
Well there.
Has to race back.
Done really well, Ali, because he's shaped for the pass to begin with, so De Glanville has to come forward, and he turns really well. How good has this signing been for Leicester, Radwan? 10 tries so far this season. He's only been here for half the games. Gets right in behind. You look at in the backfield there, look at De Glanville, you can't quite see, but he comes forward and then he has to turn and make up a lot of ground. That hits the ground. There's a lot of pressure put on Bath.
Yeah, nothing clear.
Okay, thanks, mate.
So having caught for the mark, De Glanville clears long. Stewart is there waiting. And he returns the favour. And pressure again on De Glanville, who once more calls for the mark.
Poor kick from Stewart, but De Glanville's gone quickly, but Bath's kick chase is so slow. On that first one, they gave Freddie Stewart so many metres to run into. And again,
Pollard
those big forwards not trying to get up in the line.
Hassel Collins. Henderson. From Portfleet. Pollard. Catter. Woodward. Joe Woodward, this 21-year-old who's had such an exceptional season in the Leicester back division. Cracknell coming tearing onto the ball. Pollard now again, whipping it wider. Rafael waiting for Stewart, tries to dab it through. It's hit a Bath player, and Tom Dunn secures it.
Brilliant. Leicester short in the backfield now. Not the best of kicks from Russell, but he's got it between the two.
Once again, the kick chase is distinctly ordinary.
23 minutes in, Ali, and people are walking. That's how hot it is.
It has to be the heat, does it not?
It has to be. The emotion as well. You get to these games, and it takes a lot out of you. You need a second wind to kick in.
Yeah. Every time we're doing a break, everyone there never like onside.
Thomas Dutoy being seen to by the medics, and Tom Dunn similarly.
Okay, it's fine.
It's tough to evaluate, of course, from those of us in the stadium or watching back at home, but certainly Bath, they look a lot more sluggish than we're used to seeing, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely, but I wonder whether that's partly sort of it pacing yourself a little bit. You know how hot it's going to be. You empty the tank in the first 20 minutes, chasing every kick as hard as you can. That's going to come back to haunt you at the back end of the game, and we know how good Bath are in the second half. Just wonder whether there's an element of let's not punch ourselves out too early. Part of the problem is they're not necessarily kicking when they want to kick. Bit of loose ball.
Jomo to Faulkner Singer this time. Having a hard time puncturing the gain line. This Tigers defence, drilled by Dave Kidwell these days, is very tough to unpick. Jomo feeds Muir. Thumping tackle from Freddie Stewart. Real bone shaker.
That is such a good tackle from Cracknell. Spins him in the tackle on Pepper. Ball pops out the other side.
Liebenberg for Leicester. Pepper looking to win the ball back. And he's done it. And Henderson has to be butted off the ball. Here goes Miles Reed, feeding Muir. First genuine opportunity here for Bath. In comes Joe Hayes. Big clear out on Tom Dunn.
There, Leicester.
Well, there's commitment for you.
It's Wild West at the breakdown.
Tigers all in on it.
Okay, use it now, please.
From Portfleet's clearance.
Well, we talked about what a nuisance Pepper is at the breakdown before the game. Here he is, straight in, sees Liebenberg on his own, go past, and then Leicester think, well, Miles Reed, he's made a break, he's in behind us. If they're going to have it their own way at the breakdown, we're going to come in and counter-ruck as well. Joe Hayes just avoiding Miles Reed at the front of that and causing the problems that secures the turnover. Another one-handed take.
Once again, just brilliant at the tail. Spencer on the loop this time. Russell putting that out in front of de Glanville, who hits the gas and tries to edge past Hassel-Collins. Russell feeding a pot of forwards up and beyond the 10-metre line. Russell looking to free the arms. Spencer to the shorter side. Pepper, Jomo, Faulkner Singer, Reed. Trouble brewing for Leicester. Spencer again to the short side. And de Glanville under a lot of pressure. Taken on by Guy Pepper once again. Man of the match in the semi-final. Ewells feeds a Barno. Still they come tight to the ruck. Thomas Dutoy. Rumbling forwards yet again. A try in last year's Premiership final. He's done it again.
Well, that's Bath at their best, using that forward power that just over the last couple of minutes started to develop that, the likes of Miles Reed. And Leicester are so desperate to stop it and slow it down, they overcommit to the breakdown. Those hands out the back from Pepper. Hassel-Collins does really well to get off his man. But then, as they come back, look at the white shirts overcommit. Once they get in behind, one more breakdown. And Thomas Dutoit, the pick and go through the guts. No one in a guard in a position, and because of that momentum, you can't get a shot, a head-on shot, if you're coming backwards to a breakdown. And that mix of electric backline play with forward power is what meant Bath finished the regular season top of the pile, and now they go top in this final.
From 7 points down, they lead by 10 points to 7, and their prolific tight head on the score sheet yet again. Reed clung onto that, but he's done the right thing and turns back towards his own goal end.
Use it. I've got it on the ball.
Have a word with Johan van Graan in a moment or two, the Bath director of rugby.
What a tackle that was.
Touch, play on.
So again, Henderson not too far away. In fact, he's got a hand on that, and Stewart has to scramble. Here goes Van Poortvliet. Pollard next.
Dicko next breakdown. We are going to have to check this.
Okay, so it's
that's the voice of Ian
So
Tempest.
it's foul play by White 2. Foul play by White 2.
Okay. We're looking at the actions of White 2 in the breakdown here. I originally had it on the ball, on the chest, but here we got head contact.
Yeah, the initial tackle from Joe Hayes, wasn't it? Really good tackle, and did Montoya just go all in for the counter ruck and make a hit on the head? Oh, it comes over the top of Joe Hayes, doesn't he?
Again, it's a dipping head. I think it starts at red and ends up at yellow.
So we've got a two-man tackle.
It's whether he wraps his arm, doesn't he? Joe Hayes causes him a few problems. That arm...
Well, it's a late wrap. If it's a wrap, it's very late.
Tempo.
Yes, Dicko.
We have a decision.
Back to you.
Okay. So we do have head contact. It is foul play because the player can do better. He's not low enough. It is a high degree of danger because he's moving forward into the tackle. However, there's a second tackler that moves him across, which doesn't give the second guy a chance to make an adjustment. So it's a yellow card. 2.
It's going to be yellow, not red. And Montoya will take the 10 minutes in the bin now.
Him into him. But he's absolutely twatted him.
And there again, the finest of margins. We spoke about it on account of Beno Obano's situation a year ago.
It's 5 metres inside the 22.
Perfect.
It's always fractional. And the Tigers go down to 14 for the next 10 minutes.
I don't know.
And away into touch from Bath. So let's bring in Johan van Graan, the Bath director of rugby. Johan, your assessment of the opening half hour, you'll be delighted to have hit back with that score and moved in front. Handling, though, you must be concerned about that.
I think it was an aerial game. Some of the handling came from the air, obviously from a play sheet point of view. We've dropped the ball twice on first phase, but look, this is just moment by moment. That's gone. Next bit is the next play.
Can we talk about the conditions? It's very hot. We've seen both sides actually seemingly struggling with the pace of the game and the heat. It's clearly a factor. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's extremely hot. Look, we've got to play the game at our pace. This will be a 23-man game. You know, tactically it'll be very important how we make our decisions in that second half. But as I said, just stay in the moment, play by play.
Thanks so much for your time, Johan.
Cheers, Ali. Thank you.
I was watching in the warm-up, actually, Ali, that the guys were out there for an hour before the game in aching heat, and they warmed up in the sun. I don't know why they didn't all move to the shade. I know it's a much smaller area, but you're talking about really fine margins in professional sport. And keeping yourself 1 or 2 degrees cooler before the match might make quite a big difference in the last 20.
Tommy Raphael is the man who's been sacrificed on account of needing Charlie Clare to come on as a hooker to take his place in the front row for the scrum. So Clare will pack down now with Smith and Hayes either side of him. Bath have been very effective against 14 players across the league season from September to June, averaging 7 odd points for every 10-minute spell when they have a man advantage.
Okay, player, both gone down. No movement forward.
Nice ball from Ajomo to Russell. Bath just beginning to tick. Muir to Grant. Spencer through the middle of the ruck. Russell, Reed. Problems here for Leicester. Still Reed. Spencer whips it out. Onwards they go through Ewells. Quick ball again. Abano cut down. Spencer. Quinrue.
He's lost it forward.
Has that gone forwards or backwards?
Hold. No, hold.
Unbelievable tackle. There's a nasty injury, I think. You can hear whoever it is in pain on the ref mic. What a break this is, though.
All I've got is a knock-on by Blue on the floor. Just check that it's not ripped by White on the floor.
We're just going to look at...
But at the moment, I've got a knock-on by this player. But
just this run around. Look at Pollard. He can't get near this because the timing's just perfect. Pollard wants to step through and hit Russell. He can't. And that's what gives them that initial momentum. Once they're in behind Leicester again, it's just about those forward carriers coming onto the ball at pace. Muir just tracking on the shoulder of Russell off his wing.
I think it has been stripped on the floor.
Brilliant speed from Spencer on the pick-up. The offload is fantastic. And then you think from there, they're going over. There's an unbelievable tackle at the end just to stop them. And then there's the turnover. And the ball spilling out as Quinrue just got a little bit too long and legged. He had no balance to be able to drive through and actually ends up landing, I think, with his head down into the ground.
I just wonder if that's the actions of Nicky Smith as opposed to necessarily Quinrue spilling the ball. We'll hear from the officials on that in a moment.
Does it look like this? We just need to find out if that player strips the ball on the floor.
Mate, the hand's in there. I'm just trying to see if it's all momentum with the tackle. It's probably worth moving forward to talk through it to see whether it's foul play or it's just momentum.
Just check from that last one.
Yeah, is that Nicky Smith's hat?
Left hand, isn't it?
Just pulling it out.
Have you got anything?
So Dicko, we do need to see this, mate.
Okay, so
I think this could be another yellow card. It's cynical. He's lying on the floor. If he rips it out.
Yeah, this is it now. So he's off his feet.
Strips the ball. Okay. Well, okay.
So Carl Dixon will take a look on the big screen.
Actions of White, one on the floor, is that right?
That's correct, Carl.
Okay, so we're looking at the fact that the tackle's complete and whether he stripped that illegally on the floor, is that correct?
That is correct. The best angle's coming up now.
Okay.
I suppose your only defence here, Ben, is that you're not allowed to hold the ball in the ruck. You've got to move your hand away. It's whether or not he's moving his hand away, he's actually deliberately scooping it.
He's in danger, Smith, isn't he? Not quite obviously, because they're right on the goal line here.
I think the flap of his fingers shows that actually he's trying to move the ball. I think he's gone here.
Are we just saying this? Are we saying there's just two players' hands moving? Okay. So, Adam, intentional?
I don't see it as intentional.
It's not intentional. So then if we're looking it back from White, then we can look at potential grounding by Bath. Is that correct? Okay. Knock on.
It looks like it.
Okay. Knock on. Okay. So we're just looking at a knock on. Okay. So, we've just got players. Tempo. I have a decision.
Back to you, Carl.
Hallelujah.
So we've got two players on the floor after the tackle. The player's just trying to move out. I'm not seeing this as a deliberate intentional act to strip the ball. So I'm still looking at a knock on by Blue. Nothing else. We all agree on field. I don't see it as a deliberate act.
Right. Smith exonerated.
It's one of those where he's probably very lucky he's not looking in the direction when he does it.
It's a knock
But
on.
for me,
I just think it's
that's the sort of thing he used to be able to get away with. I'm not sure.
I think if you're scooping the ball, you move your fingers in a sort of scooping action, like taking some ice cream out of the tub, just something that Ben understands.
With your fingers?
With your fingers, yeah.
Does this happen a lot in the Healy household?
Normally about 2 o'clock in the morning. But if you're pulling your hand away, your hand's normally quite flat. You're trying to get it out of the way, so I think he's a lucky boy there.
Well, they're going to have to muscle up now at scrum time. 5 metres out from the try line. Montoya in the bin, remember. But a decent set-piece effort, and Van Poortvliet feeds Pollard, and Pollard clears it away.
Good scrum from Leicester under their own sticks. Made it very, very easy for Jack Van Poortvliet just to have time to be able to pick out the right option. We're going to have to go back immediately into defence.
Let's go.
Big puff of the cheeks from Tom Dunn.
Russell in behind Muir here. Both centres alongside the winger.
Pepper at the front. Redpath.
Okay, advantage then.
Dunn. An advantage in behind Bath now. An infringement at the line out. That's gone forwards once again through the fingertips this time of Max Ajomo, but they had that penalty. They've taken the man in the air, Leicester.
9 handling errors now from Bath. What do? You go to the corner, that's confidence.
Watch Bath in their warm-up from this distance. They were very much trying to get the defence that were against them to hit one side and then rotate round and pivot on that hit and lose those white shirts behind them. As you can see, must just be approaching the referee's mind how the penalty count's gone.
Dunn, early leap from Hill. It's Ewells instead who takes it in, and Tom Dunn wants it. And now Bath have a bit of a rumble on. Tigers trying to stem the flow. Taken up and close to the line.
He's held up.
And they've been held up here, Bath. Radwan's right in amongst
that
it.
Is absolutely sensational.
He judo throws it.
He does.
Player, time off, please.
Fourth down.
Have a look at this player.
He's got no real strong position, Radwan. But watch him, he's got a wrap and then he falls backwards and rotates him round and ends up on top of him with the ball between them.
Has gone down to the side, so we can't move forward after it's gone down.
Leicester will be a little bit concerned, Ali. The number of times Bath have been able to step out of the ruck, like really close on the edge of the ruck. Spencer on a few occasions has stepped out close. That's another good example of it. I think they've got to get tighter around the breakdown. They're a little bit loose at the guard and first defender.
In the last scrum, again, I've said we just need to keep it up in the air.
What an addition Adam Radwan has proved, most obviously with his lightning pace. So, defensive capabilities, as we've just seen. Right up there, and that will please Dave Kidwell, who is the man in charge of all the padlocking as far as Leicester are concerned.
Let's go!
Reed. Oof. Too far away from escaping the net. Russell, very loose ball for Muir. That is a horrible pass as well. Off the chest and bouncing forward from Singer. This handling is a problem at the moment for Bath.
No, rolled over, no.
I think there's just that element of shoveling bad ball on to the next person. And occasionally you have to just take stock. A lot of the handling errors have come because of a poor line-out drill where the delivery's not been right, which means the scrum half's pass isn't as good. And at some point you have to say, look, let's take stock and go again, reset things.
There's a saying, isn't there? Don't shovel on.
Thank you, Austin.
Thank you.
It's Henderson. Pollard. Tigers just turning up the heat a little bit, and Radwan beginning to find top gear. Muir is there. Oh, that's loose, and Ajomo has to drop on it, but he's not managed it. Radwan has it for Leicester. What an opportunity for the Tigers now.
Oh, your man.
Van Poortvliet waits. Redpath hurries back into position. Charlie Kerr is stopped in his tracks. Liebenberg now declare again.
Choma went for the intercept.
Trying to make an attempt.
Almost threw it right into his hands.
I know.
The kicks, superb.
Genuine attempt.
Muir does such a good job because Radwan's got a Jomo for pace.
Let's go.
And then he throws it back in field. Woodward reacts the
far
quickest.
side went down first. Your fine was up. Let's go.
So the result, a scrummage on the 22, and David Flatman's right in amongst it.
And the scrums, depending on your interest levels, Ali, the scrums have been fascinating so far. When Leicester have really nailed it, they've looked dominant. Now they're a man down. They'll put Solomon Akat to the centre on the flank to make sure they've got 8. He's a big, stocky boy, but he's not an experienced scrummager. It's their put-in. They're in a great attacking position. Really, really nice spot. Bath, here, against a team which is a forward down, they should be all-out attack. They want to marmalise Leicester Tigers here, ruin their attack at source. Do they have the energy? Are they conserving it, or do they have it? I tell you what, Nicky Smith, it's all messy. They'll reset. Nicky Smith is doing a cracking job on the loose head. They'll all get up. There'll be no rush. Now, normally here, we wondered if Bath are conserving energy. Bath here, if they were full of puff, they would be right. Let's get this reset quick because the clock is ticking until they get Tommy Rafael back on. The clock's ticking. Let's get this reset as soon as possible. Let's keep this 7-forward scrum working. There's not any real rush. I mean, the lads are blowing out there. There's some big, heavy bits of furniture knocking around. The heart rates are high. It's very, very hot, I can tell you that, especially in a posh blazer. Bath should attack. What Leicester want is just to get this ball in and away. They are in survival mode. It's all getting messy, guys.
Thanks, Flas.
Wait for the call. Far side, 2 players. Wait for my call.
Sod's law, we talk to the expert just as you see 2 collapses.
Smith's been outstanding.
Don't anticipate the engage.
So far, he really has worked Dutoit.
Let's go, boys. Yes, second.
It's just that moment as the ball comes in where you just hesitate and think, right, how do we feel? Are we comfortable? Can we keep the ball at the back, or do we need to get it out as quickly as possible, as Flats was talking about?
Scrum penalty to Bath. And that's huge, given where they are on the field, given the clock as well. Thomas Dutoit turns and sighs and recognises that the big boys have got Bath out of a spot of bother.
He's livid, isn't he? Smith, he feels it wasn't him at all on that occasion.
Battle between a guy that's hinging and a guy that's got his legs quite a long way back.
Let's go, lads.
I think if you're the guy that hinges, you're saying, well, it's not my job to keep him up. It's my job to be in a position that I'm comfortable in. But it's just all about those pictures to the referee. It's got to make a fraction of a second decision.
Never touched it.
Line out lost, and Leicester can regroup here. They will get their captain back on the field imminently. Next break in play, you would think. Julian Montoya will return.
Counter ruck is good. Wait now, use it please.
3 in the backfield for Bath. And Will Muir is going to have to deal with Radwan, who's very quick up, needless to say. Spencer threads this down the 15-metre channel.
Come out.
Stewart in field.
Thank you.
Russell. Over the head of Van Portfleet, he's done brilliantly. Calls for the mark.
He's lucky there because he didn't gather it. Yeah, he didn't gather it cleanly on the first catch, so I think he's got away with one there.
Okay, Jack, let's go.
Clearance is a strong one.
Thanks, mate.
And underneath the ball, 2 important characters trot back out again. Julian Montoya and Tommy Rafael back in the ranks, and the Tigers restored to the full complement.
Dunn's had to be good, hasn't he, with his throw-in. Leicester have put a lot of pressure, as they did last week against Sale at the line-out. Double top every time. One-handed takes, though.
Stay, Jack. Thank you.
Hill supreme in the line out to this point. Reed into the midfield, done a lot of carrying. Preferred to Alfie Barbary from the start for this week. Spencer caught in two minds and needing the assistance of Abano.
That's a turnover.
Tigers have got the ton and they haven't. Toja thought he had it. He's gone beyond the ball.
I just wonder where his hands touch the grass, I think.
Time's up. Four's on the wrong side.
Well, he's actually given it for the tackler, not rolling away when Montoya went on.
Close.
Oh, Micah Checker is absolutely raging. Is that all about that final decision? This will be the final play of this first half. Well, we'll find out what the trouble is because Brian's all over it.
He's looking very cool, isn't he, Dricko?
Right now. Concentration levels. Final kick of the half.
7-1 on the penalty count.
Russell from 47 metres out. Straight and true. 3 more points banked for Bath, who have been a long, long way from their best. But they have a single try through Thomas Dutoy, the reply from Jack van Poortvliet's early score. Something of a slow burn at the Allianz at Twickenham. Bath 13, Leicester 7 at half-time.
Particularly Nicky Smith had a long conversation trying to get to the bottom of why he's being penalised at the scrum. That 7-1 count, be very interesting what happens under pressure for Carl Dixon in the first 5 minutes of this half.
So the ball relaunched by Finn Russell. No changes to either side at half-time.
Use it, please. Let go, let go.
Both will be keen to measure the impact of their replacements as we go through this second 40 minutes. The Glanville kicks long.
Too far.
Too long. Even with a massive in-goal area.
Interesting first kick, wasn't it, from JVP? They kicked to compete in the first half, but they probably arguably lost that battle. This time he kicks it really long. Gets a good 60 metres on the kick, which means when you're in the backfield then you've got a choice. You've got all your guys really close. If you put a high ball up, they can't compete. So tactically, I think we'll see a lot of changes. And you have to think that first half's gone. You've got 40 minutes now. It's in your own destiny. You're either getting on the bus and you're singing, or you're getting on the bus and you're crying.
We saw an extraordinary 20-minute spell, didn't we, in the semi-final at the Rec. Bath looked transformed in that second period. Tries from Hill, Thokinasinger, Muir and Jomo. Just a big old flex to get rid of the Bears challenge. I wonder if Tigers can muster something similar to that as Pollard runs pleasingly onto the ball. Catter, that look forwards. Flat, says Carl Dixon. Stewart
still playing advantage.
Goes to ground with an advantage here, and Chesham rumbling forwards. Hayes smashed in the tackle by Quinn Rue. Good to see him up and about after that problem in the shadow of the post earlier. That's gone forwards, and back we come for the earlier infringement.
That's a Jomo again, just getting in the eye line.
Number 1.
Makes it very difficult for the 10 to get a decent pass or throw balls over the top. He's there so quickly, a Jomo, defensively.
Penalty's gone against Beno Urbano. And it looks very much as if the tee is coming on. 400 Pollard.
Find me next time.
2 from 5 only in the semi-final, and a missed drop goal as well, which you'd expect him to have slotted in his sleeper man of his class. But I think one thing's for sure, Ben, when the chips are down, this guy doesn't miss too many.
Well, you've built him up nicely, Ali, for commentator's curse, but I think right decision. If Bath were in a purple period and playing free-flowing rugby, Leicester might want to go to the corner and develop a bit of their own attack, but as it's been tit for tat and not much in it, I think try and nibble away at that scoreboard.
Wide it goes. Bath off the hook.
I've just had a text, Ali, from every Leicester fan in the world saying, can you not build him up again before the next kick, please?
Please, he can just shut up. We've just become so used to it, haven't we? Those World Cup finals, 34 points in World Cup finals alone for Andre Pollard. Very much the clutch king. Maybe he'll still pull it out at the death here, who knows. In the meantime, Stewart. And down on one knee, de Glanville calls for the mark.
Sort of a nothing kick, that, wasn't it? I wonder what Checker actually said at half-time. Let's just tighten up a little bit. Let's not take any chances. We've made a few mistakes at breakdown, a few little bad kicks, the JVP one and one or two others. Start again, get tight.
They need a bit of accuracy as well. You know, Bath have had handling errors, but it's been a little bit clunky at times from Leicester. They'll want to put someone over the gain line here.
Up goes Cracknell. Slightly awkward landing. Woodward into the midfield. And swallowed up there, and he's not released the ball. And Bath are all over it.
Kata there gambles to try and take the heat off Woodward by running that tight line back towards him and try and overload a defender with two options to hit. Unfortunately for Leicester, Bath read it really well, make the tackle, and because Kata's on that hard line, he overruns. So there's no support for Kata. Sorry, no support for Woodward on the floor. Just watch Kata, overruns it, and everyone else, Pollard runs round the corner. There's no one in there as from a forwards perspective to make the clear out. Leicester exposed, penalty given, and Pepper again. It's been so good over the last couple of weeks.
He is a brilliant player, but that's not a penalty. You've got to touch the ball. You can't just lift the player off the floor.
Yules delivers the ball for Spencer. Russell to a Jomo. And into the midfield they come, and yet again give up possession.
And as he's travelling forward, he gets it.
He's turning into dropping a singer this afternoon, isn't he? I mean, was that 5 or 6 now he's knocked on?
Lost his mind and went to ground. That's the information I have.
He's not having the best afternoon. Italy is a hard one to take. It hits him in the shoulder, but...
Proving a challenging day to this point for Joe Thokinasinger. His 100th Premiership appearance. He's been in terrific try-scoring form, 10 in the last 16.
Crouch! Bind! Set! It's gone round, spin round, play away! Play away, it's gone round!
Portfleet
take him back.
Whips it away. Hassel Collins does the job via the left boot. To Glanville.
Come out!
Try to chip that a little bit into no man's land. Pollard with the footwork. And then Ajomo arrives emphatically. Absolutely bouncing off the walls at Farley House on Tuesday, Max Ajomo. So keen to get on and play the game. Big contest at the breakdown again.
Pepper again, isn't he?
It's unbelievable.
No.
Exactly what you were showing in the demo pre-match.
Excellent balance and weight to the kick from Van Portfleet, and Tigers are looking for it. It's gone forwards from Bath, and again, Tigers drawing the dividends from the aerial bombardment.
Just Leicester get the ball back, but we've raved about Pepper.
I can't reward when the scrum goes around like this.
The ball's never dead for him, so here he makes the tackle. He gets carried a little bit by Montoya or anything, but he's off his feet, gets back to his feet and just leaves the ball and drives over the top of it, slowing Cracknell down, forces 3 extra bodies to come in from Leicester, and any thought of playing they had off Montoya's little bit of momentum now means that they have to kick.
And even then, Ben, he puts his foot round right at the end. Even when he's down on the floor, he gets taken down. He just hooks his foot, goes for it with the ball. That's a really good example to any back row kid playing, right? Your job's never over. Doing something else. Be a bit more of a nose. Stay in there for as long as you can. Really good play from Pepper.
Tigers have a decent platform at scrum time. Woodward feeds Pollard, and a lovely step from Stewart. Through the gain line they go. Van Portfleet looks left, heads right.
No, over the top. No, spin.
Montoya. Smith now. Hammered in the tackle by Charlie Yules. And Pollard has to go to the air again. Reid was bearing down on him. Here's Thokinasinger. Well, he's caught that one. Had to.
Just unexpected, I think, for Hassel Collins. Liebenberg been through a ton of work. He wasn't on his toes, ready to chase that one, and it just became an easy catch for Joe Thokonasinga. Not quite on the same hymn sheet at the moment, Tigers.
Tells its own story, that stat, Ali. Only 4 phases for Leicester in the red zone, in the opposition 22 versus 16. It's been very cagey, though.
Nice line-out ball to work with. Pollard at the show on the inside. Kata off. Crunched by Tom Dunn. Here's Montoya. Woodward on the move. Good leg drive, almost up to the 22-metre line from Portfleet. Has it quickly. Montoya again into Quinn Roux. Real arm strength there. The intercept by Finn Russell. 60 metres. Flings it in field for a Jomo. A masterclass in seizing your moment. Reading the play, timing your run.
You're right, reading the play is incredible, because it's not just a flat-out run. He starts to go and then has a fraction hesitate just to make sure. And then as soon as he sees the eyes open up, he accelerates. Pollard looks up, the eyes open, he sees the wrist start to flip, accelerates onto it. Couldn't have been better timing from Finn Russell. And then talk about someone that's got the bravery and confidence in their own ability to throw that pass. They're just having a look, I think, to see whether that last pass was forward. Couldn't believe he threw it.
Well, I couldn't believe he threw it either. But they're going to have another look at it. It did look really close. I think I'm seeing it from up here.
Angles at the moment.
It looked okay to me, but if we see from the high angle, I'm sure we'll be able to tell. Here's the original pass. Well, we're not going to see from this angle.
12. I've asked still.
I think that's fine. When you look at his hands, I know it's not a great angle to tell, but
I've got time off.
I'm still working, Dicko. I've cleared the last pass. It's clearly backwards out of the hands. I'm just looking to see if I can see anything on the tackle for you.
Thanks, mate.
Well, what a day for the Ajomo family. This is the initial tackle.
That's fine.
it's just the right hand, isn't it, of Reed?
See, I had him falling. So I'll play no time to react. So I'm going to play on if you've not got anything. There we go. Let's go.
Nothing further to scrutinise. And Bath now lead by 20 points to 7. Miles Reed again is galloping forwards.
Okay, use it, please. Ben, that's now. Now. No.
Spencer's clearance. Potential challenge, it's going to drift away. Austin.
Well, the key to this intercept, actually, is Pollard's head. If you watch him really closely, he never looks out. He's always looking at the ball. He doesn't want to take the scan to see Russell. And by the time he lifts his head and he gets the ball, he's still looking in, looks out, doesn't see him until he's thrown the pass. We said he was a clutch player, just didn't realise that currently it's in the favour of Bath.
Well, the match between these two not so long ago featured an intercept from Ajomo, who then fed it infield to Thokonasinga to score at the Rec. And here it was Ajomo's turn. Watched on by Father Steve, who of course won 10 trophies back in the day for Bath. This has gone forward from Leicester, and you can just feel the momentum beginning to swing.
Tom Dunn, this time, huge moment when Leicester are looking to get back in the game. Big shot on the tackle, and then watch. As soon as he's down, he gets back up, assists in the counter-up, forces the error for Cracknell.
Ball came away before anything.
Twickenham just about as loud as it's been all day. Less than half an hour remaining. 13 points the difference. These two powerhouse clubs slugging it out at the home of English rugby.
It's gone down on the spot. Play the ball.
Russell, Jomo attacks that space nicely. Not Singer did well actually to drop on that, and his power will take him to the halfway line.
I think that might be a Bath throw-in, I think.
Yeah, just sweep him, mate.
Check it. I think Izzy Parisi, sorry. Maybe just takes it off him right before.
Still got it there, as he's on the field to play though. I don't think Singer's got hold of that. His feet are still
clear. Let's go Leicester ball. Leicester ball. Not clear. Not clear.
Benefit of the doubt. Going Tigers' way. Montoya to Chesham. Pollard, Catter. Pollard again. Stewart left out. Hassel Collins into the midfield. Clobbered by Muir. Anticipated that really nicely. Through they go. The middle of the ruck as we see a first touch for Izzy Parisi, who's come onto the field for the Tigers. Tricky one for Stewart to gather.
You pulled him over.
It's more absolute thunderous shot coming in from Benno Urbano. From Portfleet, tests out the Bath backfield, but not very effectively. Bath fans jeering as they go, but a let-off.
Good first phase defence from Bath there. The sweep around. Muir did exceptionally well to make the read on the second to the last Leicester attacker.
There's that angle, Ben. Look how well he reads. He's the last man. It's tough there. Do you step in as a winger or do you stay out? Really good defence. He's been good today, Muir. Aerially, defensively, very strong.
9.
Leicester needs something special now. They're starting to unravel a little bit. These two guys coming on. In particular, Ilioni's been really good in the latter part of the season as an impact player.
So Ben Young's a final appearance for the Leicester Tigers and a final appearance here at Twickenham, where he's performed such extraordinary feats over the years. His 7th Premiership final and a 338 first-team appearance for the Tigers. Joined by Emeka Ilioni, who's come on for Tommy Raffel. So Van Portfleet and Raffel have left us for the time being. And by the way, Parisi for the Tigers deployed earlier in place of Joe Woodward in the midfield.
Yeah, use it, please. Let's go now, Ben. Let's go. Go.
Muir's done well. Urbano. Clung onto by Hayes. Russell to Pepper. Well met in the midfield. Cracknell and Smith.
No, off your feet. No, thank you.
All over that for the time being. Ewell's the provider. Russell threads it through. Detoy out of the tackle for Urbano.
It's okay.
Russell again. Singer on the chase. Back goes Hassel Collins. Stewart in field. Touchdown! Ted Hill so quick across the grounds. And the ball has flown through the in-goal area, but a fleeting idea as to exactly how quick this man is.
Yeah, it's a lovely little pass, isn't it? But look at Ted Hill, how quick he gets back. There he is, right in the middle of the shot. You can see him chasing, just ambling, then he turns the burners on. That's lucky for Leicester. That could bounce anywhere. Could so easily have been 7 points.
You see it happening in slow motion, couldn't you, when it was live?
He takes a bit of avoiding, Ted Hill, as well. Unbelievable athlete. And we learnt this week, the fastest, in fact, of everybody in the Bath squad. Over and above all the wingers, all the centres, all the fullbacks. Extraordinary. Let's not forget the impact of those players that joined Bath from Worcester as well, of which he's one. Ollie Lawrence, who played such a big part in the early season, getting Bath into this sort of position to challenge for titles. And they've brought a rare hunger to Bath across their time. At the rack, the ball falling for Spencer. He sets off towards the try line. Threads it in fields, and one bounce back on itself into touch.
We're seeing a masterclass today from Bath there, really, how to deal with Freddie Stewart. He's so good in the air, but if you just get one hand higher than his two and tap it back, you can cause havoc. And they, without doubt, are leading this game because they're winning that aerial battle. Gives you field position, gives your forwards the ability to just keep moving forwards.
Feels like the next score absolutely critical. No one, by the way, has come from this sort of deficit to win a Premiership final. 13 points down now. The best was Saracens in 2019 against Exeter. Came from 11 points down.
Use it, please. Thank you. No, stay there.
Young's looking for distance, gaining distance. That's huge. Right up to halfway.
I think it's fair to say that the game's changed significantly, and we are seeing much more high scoring. Bath have averaged 5 tries a game this season, Leicester 4 tries a game. So it is possible for Leicester. The worry for them is that Bath tend to score a lot more than their opposition in the second half. Over double. Leicester have to create something against a team that seem to have been able to own second halves this season.
Spencer on the retreats. Miles Reid again worked tirelessly today. We await the arrival of Alfie Barbary. And to this point, Johan van Graan hasn't touched his bench.
Now.
And there's some big old units there who would look to make their impact. Stewart again under pressure, airily does enough to feed it back for Liebenberg. Youngs swivels and feeds it back to Cracknell. Trying to work their way upfield via the boot. De Glanville gathers it in and sets off to straighten beyond the 10-metre line. Spencer to Tom Dunn.
Okay, use it, please. Push it back. Then we've got to be quicker. Come on. Back off one.
This time, the Tigers couldn't get on top of that either, and Bath have it. And Spencer again is prodding that short side. Here's Pepper taking on Radwan. Still driving. Pepper.
No.
Pepper. A game-breaking, muscular intervention from the open side. Bath now turning up the heat in this final.
Well, Austin's right. The aerial game for Bath has been unbelievable, and Will Muir has no right to win this ball back. Really good length, as you'd expect from Spencer. But not only does he win the ball the first touch, but watch what he does as he lands. Secures it. No right to win that. Just, did he let go? Did he lose control there? That'd be the only thing. And then the body swerve from Pepper. The strength to hold off Radwan and then accelerate through. That is a stunning finish. Just the only thing is whether on the floor Muir spills the ball.
Yeah, just make sure there's no clear knock on.
I think they need to have a look at the Muir catch, because it looked that he landed on it and then it might have just squirted out.
Yeah, it's just the second part of the floor, just clear it. They're going to show me an angle now.
But he has been so good in the air, hasn't he? A lot of the time he's been the difference.
Happy in the air, just a
That's fine. There's nothing there. Does he touch it now before he catches it and gathers it? Does he keep hold? Oh, he's lost it there.
Dick out tempo.
He's lost it forward.
Check, please.
Oh, wow. Can we just ignore that, please? Because Guy Pepper was sensational.
Yes, I'm going to show you a knock-on by the Bath winger.
What a moment. What a moment this is.
Oh, no. I mean, this...
It's not this.
Yeah.
He's fine. He does so well there, look. He lands, he keeps hold of it there, but then just... No, he's just spilt it.
Clear separation and loss of control from the hands forward.
Are we knock on? Are we seeing that as a clear knock on? Okay, and
Yeah.
you clearly lose it there. That's the angle.
His
Yeah,
other hand's lost it.
So 10-5 decision.
Back to you, Cole.
The player, as he's trying to regather, goes to ground. As he goes to ground, the ball moves forward and there's clear separation from the hands. So it is a knock on. It's a knock on.
And the try is chalked off. And on these tiny margins, does so much hang.
Just make sure I get the right mark, please.
Tigers still in this hunt.
Massive, that alley, within 2 scores still, but it's interesting to see how that affects the psyche of either side. As Leicester, do you see it right? We've got a chance, lads. We've been given a lifeline. Let's find a way back in. They haven't used their wingers with ball in hand at all this afternoon. Or as Bath, you think, oh, that's harsh. That's really annoyed me. And you're exhausted, but that anger carries you to go an extra 5 yards when you don't think you can do it. And often the anger gets you going a lot further rather than the chance does.
And it's at moments like those you would expect for them to cast their minds back a year and remember that hurt and that pain and the devastation they felt upon losing out to the Northampton Saints in such a hard-fought contest when they were playing with 14 for so long. Leicester, though, need to find something. And maybe Adam Radwan is the man to try and help them do that.
They can't give him ball with 4 defenders in front of him. I know he's good, but Houdini can't get through that space.
They've just not found him any kind of space to breathe this afternoon. We've been shorn of the delights of watching him run in open play.
Ball's trapped by your own player. Just be a little bit quicker, okay? Use it, please.
This is a chance.
To the skies. Sorry, Austin, as she's sent upwards again by Spencer.
Play on!
And it's wound up with a Jomo.
Let go now! Take him back in.
Apologies for the bad language you might have picked up. That is a fine kick. Is that going to roll in? Just the other side of the corner flag.
How close was that? I was just about to say, actually, the only way really that you get the attacking opportunity to go wide is by long box kicks. But this guy's not been kicking long, Spencer. He's been kicking really high to compete for Muir. This is unlucky for him because it so easily could have gone the other side of the post.
Time off. Tie it down. Take a breath, lad.
Funny shape, that ball, isn't it? There's a frustration for Spencer. Joe Hayes receiving some treatment now.
It's starting to get to the stage, isn't it, where Leicester need to throw caution to the wind and not get embroiled in this box kick battle, because Bath are happy with that. Leicester now need to press the accelerator.
Dan Cole arrives. One last time. A giant of English rugby. Like Ben Young's, his 7th Premiership final. And his last outing in Tigers colours, 343 of them across the years. Retiring at the end of the campaign and straight to the coalface.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Again, that's third one. Play ball's there.
Youngs whips it away, and Parisi bustles forward. Such a fabulous intervention at Matthew Woods Welford Road in that semi-final. A brilliant try he scored that ended up sealing the game for them. Smith. Montoya, head down into Guy Pepper. Youngs, Parisi. Henderson.
No.
Trying to build here, Leicester, at the moment. Bath's defence holding firm. Alfie Barbary with an important tackle there. Out it comes, and Hassel-Collins is freed up. Into the space he comes. Not the easiest of passes for Radwan, and Russell clings onto it. Had to check his stride, it slowed him right up. In the meantime, Cracknell for Leicester. Youngs. Alarm bells ringing for Bath. Parisi clings onto it. Barbary looks to get over the top of the ball. Has to give up the fight. Hassel-Collins now. Montoya. You feel Leicester need points badly here. Only the third time they've been in the opposition 22, ball in hand. Henderson rocked back in the tackle. This one coming in from Will Stewart. Youngs fishes it out. Catter, Pollard, Stewart. Jomo just doing everything in his powers to hold on to those boots. Most phases that we've had in the match so far. 17 of them to this point. Cracknell again, launching himself into Will Stewart.
Don't go over the top.
Youngs looking for the inside ball, and they've gained important ground through Parisi. Pollard holds it back nicely. Here's Chesham. Huge defensive effort this from Bath. In goes Bayliss to try to affect the turnover.
Offside there. Barbary's got away with it.
Exposed, first man.
And Barbary's in, and he's wrestling for the ball, and it squirts out, and Charlie Ewells has it for Bath.
He's got away with that massively. It's right in front of the referees. 5 yards offside.
It's now Leicester ball, and here comes Ilioni. Catter fishes it out. Stewart wrestled backwards by Thokinasinger. Desperate moments these. Final hanging in the balance. Liebenberg. Little bit more organisation and structure from the Tigers. Chesham has another go.
Don't go over.
Ilioni waits.
Carnage offside.
Youngs feeds in. They've got an advantage. Ilioni is inches away from the try line. Playing with free ball. Liebenberg reaching, and Barbary folds himself underneath.
Hands away. Still playing with advantage. You've got the ball.
Stewart's walking in if they go wide here.
Radwan wants the crossfield as well.
Yeah, he's screaming for it. He's getting those arms out again. But still, it's with the big boys. Youngs gets it away. Ilioni again, just a little short. And they dive through.
What a tackle this is from Finn Russell, by the way, on Ilioni. Drops him.
Yeah, I've got a penalty to come back to.
Catter that picks it up.
He hasn't knocked it on in the act of scoring.
OK, Dicko.
We've got a penalty example. But that's beyond Slipper. That's not beyond Slipper. You pulled him over.
So Tigers think and hope that Solomon Catter has got the try here.
Ilioni nearly gets there. Catter very, very quick on the pick. Does he keep control? Yes, he does. That's a try. Wow. We are in for a grandstand finish.
Yeah, back to you.
Yeah, landing's good.
A huge swing here at the Allianz Stadium. Solomon Catter for the Tigers. And Michael Checker shifts in his seat, knowing we're in for a grandstand finish.
Well, the first bit of attacking prowess from Tigers still was a little bit clunky, but they kept hold of the ball. Ilioni with a couple of big carries in all of that. But lovely hands from Catter originally. They bite on Catter, a little offload on the shoulder for Hassel-Collins. This is a poor pass. If that's out in front of Radwan, it could have been scored a lot earlier.
It's the first time they've worked out how to go down the Ajomo channel, pull him out the line and get in behind him. He's been defensively the thorn in Leicester's back play this afternoon. Now what they need to do is bring him further out, fake that long pass, entice him out the line, and then get in behind with the shoulder ball like we've just seen. They finally worked out Bath's defence.
2 more replacements deployed by Johan van Graan. Niall Annett is on for Tom Dunn, and Ross Maloney trots on to relieve Charlie Ewells in the second row. Tom Dunn has done all he can, but the game has yet to be settled. And Izzy Parisi is giving it everything he's got.
He's added an awful lot for Tigers, hasn't he, Parisi? They struggled to go forward against that big, hard-tackling Bath defence. He's finally managed to dent that blue, black and white line.
To Granville. He's just taken a tiny bit off that, given that the last time he did that, it rolled all the way through the in-goal area.
Come on, come
Young's given that a hefty thwack, taken well by Muir. Finn Russell. Here comes Dan Cole. Oh!
Let's see.
We might have a look at that later.
We're going to have to look at this, mate. We're going to have to look at this, please.
Okay.
Oh.
I've got a
What an impact.
only, but you're telling me it's more.
The question is, how late was the challenge?
Well, the thing is, he jumps really early before the ball is kicked.
I just need a close-up on it, just give me a bit of space.
Just don't think there's head contact.
So, yeah, because he pulls his arms down. Okay, tempo, we have a decision.
Okay, back to you, Carl.
Okay, the player's kicked the ball. The white player has gone up to charge down, then he's pulled his arms down, turned his shoulder into the Bath 10. It's a yellow card.
Agree.
Whoa. In his final ever rugby match, a yellow card for Dan Cole. 10 minutes in the bin. He may return. It's nip and tuck as far as the clock is concerned. But that is a big old loss at this moment in time.
Well, that's correct, yeah.
And the penalty, of course, is from the position where the kick was made, not where the impact from Cole on Russell was made. So this puts it well within the Finn Russell compass.
I'm not sure I get it, Ali. He jumped in the air, he didn't stick his elbow out, there was no head contact. I think that's exceptionally harsh.
Second yellow of the day for the Tigers. This to stretch the lead for Bath beyond a converted try. And the Bath roar tells you. They lead by 9. Less than 10 minutes remaining. Tigers down a man.
Finn Russell's been outstanding, hasn't he? Took the hit, bounced straight back to his feet, steps up, knocks the penalty over. When Bath have attacked, he's been just that playmaker personified.
Use it, please.
And this is where the calm composure comes in at half-back, doesn't it? Spencer and Russell, the married couple, as Johan van Graan described them in the week. They've brought out the best in each other across this season, but they are experienced pros who have been in these situations plenty of times before for club and for country, and they're going to be pivotal in trying to steer Bath all the way to the finish line from here.
Okay. Number 8.
Leicester taking their time, as almost 82,000 people at Twickenham cheer their sides on.
This is where Parisi made that break last week, but Leicester have now dropped 2 of the back rowers into the midfield, which just really clutters it all up. I prefer to see him have another go.
Ollie Cracknell's come off. which will mean that Matt Rogerson is on in his place, and here he is providing the ball in the midfield for a charging Parisi. Youngs slips it away to Liebenberg.
Carnage, off feet.
Bath off their feet playing the ball.
7, off
Penalty
feet,
on
play the
halfway,
ball.
that's gone against Pepper.
7, off feet. Sorry?
So what's the decision here, Ben?
Kick the 3 if you can.
I think he's looking to size up the corner.
7.
I'd always take the 3 there, because if you camped on your own line, you can still score a try when they're on offer.
What a kick that is again.
Well, one to set up the Van Poortvliet try in the 6th minute of the game, and potentially another critical one from Andre Pollard here. 5 metres away.
Maybe he's teeing himself up for a drop goal if they can score here.
Still the plan being hatched. Tigers forwards, deep in conversation. Need to find that clinical edge. Need to find that efficiency. Playing as they are with 14 men. Chesham's done the first bit. Montoya takes control. Bath struggling to hold this power. Youngs operating as the eyes and ears.
They need help here, Leicester. They need someone to clear those red-blue shirts on the right-hand side. The backs are all staying out.
That's been brought down by Bath, so the penalty is in behind Leicester here.
20.
And they'll take that now.
20.
Like you said, Ben, I'm surprised maybe 5 seconds earlier the centres didn't join. There was an opportunity there. If he joined in with Ben Youngs to turn the corner on that right-hand side of the maul.
It's moving. Hurry. Make sure you tap it.
Chesham then.
They're offside there.
With the tap and go. Bath coming flying out of the defence, and maybe Tigers will get their score here. Kata, so close. Youngs swivels and ends up in the arms of Ross Maloney.
Exceptional defence. They were offside. Going to get a warning here.
Time off. You can't go quick, so I'm going to warn.
The defence on Kata, though.
That's 2. Quick succession in this area. 20 sack and offside. They didn't go me tapped it.
So that's the warning from Carl Dixon. Too many penalties conceded here by Bath. You feel like the next infringement will end up with a yellow card for them too. Tigers go again from close range.
You're pulling him.
Chesham screaming for it. It flies out in front of him. Taken on by Kata, and those big legs are pumping hard again. Everything on the line here for Leicester. Chesham denied 5 metres away.
He's got his hands on him.
Bath having to be squeaky clean. In comes the tackle from Maloney. Henderson left out. Ilioni driving onwards. And Barber is there, but it's not enough. Ilioni's found a way through. Tigers fighting to the death. Less than 5 minutes remaining. So much still to be decided.
Rebecca Ilioni has been a revelation this year. He's been coming, and then this year he's burst onto the scene. One of the most powerful ball carriers, I think, in the league. And what's his major strength is you think you've got him, you think you've tackled him, and then he just carries on with that leg drive. And that is a stunning score.
Pollard converts. It's a 2-point ball game. Austin.
It's just all about sheer power, as Benny said. Look from behind. He looks like he's going to get hit by one guy, but actually gets hit by 3 eventually. He spins with the inside shoulder. These guys come in. You think they're going to stop him. But that's desire and power, isn't it? From 5 metres out, carrying over players like Pepper, who's had a sensational game. Wow.
Great
Squeaky
roll.
bum time.
Great roll from Henderson as well to barrel into his back, just as he looked like he might lose momentum.
What final twist is there? On this sunny day in southwest London, 3 minutes remain. Bath with their noses, barely a nose, in front. Leicester still battling away with their 14 men. Makes that try all the more impressive. Youngs thumps it north and takes play beyond the 10-metre line.
There'll be one player in a Leicester shirt that will be desperate more than anyone else in the stadium, probably anyone else in the world, to turn this around. He will not want to finish his career being the guy that gave away the penalty that potentially cost them the title.
And there he is, Dan Cole, who's still got a moment or two to wait before he can return potentially. The ball delivered by Niall Annett to Josh Bayliss. Bath had possession, which to some extent is all important, but there's still 2 minutes to play out. They go to the driving game.
Still moving. Okay, use it now, please. No, he's moved. Use it.
Spencer issuing the instructions as Barbary breaks away.
He's Leone stripped it.
And Youngs comes away with it. And the Tigers now have to find the best part of 80 metres, or at least to get within range for a drop goal.
Okay, let go. Size, hold him.
Memories of Freddie Burns just 3 summers ago. But they've got a lot of territory to find first, and they've only got a minute to do it.
Yeah, use it, please.
Young sends it up. This surely to be contested. It's going to drift just a little bit too long, and Will Muir gathers it for Bath. And if they can hold the ball now for 50 seconds, the title is theirs.
Strange decision to kick that away.
Annett, not really that interested in moving forwards, simply in protecting the ball. They could just move through the phase play here and be clear at the breakdown. Not seal that ball off, not give up any penalties. Fewer than 30 seconds remaining. Annett rocked back again in the tackle. Backwards they go, and backwards still further.
Use it, please.
Spencer now feeds it onwards, and those white shirts try desperately to get their hands on the ball. But the game surely is up now. Spencer away from Russell. And 29 years of pain washes away. Bath are champions. And the outpouring amongst the players and all the fans in the stands tumbles down from Twickenham. A Bath for a new generation. Gallagher Premiership winners, treble winners, no less. It's been an extraordinary journey. 3 years in the making under Johan van Graan. Remember, they were out of sight 3 years ago, finishing bottom of the league, being thumped by 60 points by Gloucester, by 70 points by Saracens. And under this man, they found their way to the top of the tree.
Incredible scenes, an incredible moment for all these players. I think the big difference, Leicester admirable to come back at the end, but I thought Bath's composure through the game was better. It's been better through the season. And that was typified with the last passage of play where they almost just knew they were going to get marched backwards. They didn't try and take any yardage, but they just secured the ball and gave the platform for that man to feed Finn Russell, who was outstanding today. Worthy winners for their season performance. Not a classic final, but a classic finish. And those boys can now add Premiership champions to their CV.
Bodies shaking with emotion. It means that much. Full time in the final. Bath 23, Leicester 21.